Hello, everyone. Buckle up because what Leslie just pulled off on this vacation is one of the coldest, most calculated acts of sabotage we have seen in Fairmont Estates, and the fallout is going to be felt for a very long time. Ted had a plan, a genuinely thoughtful, genuinely loving plan to rescue his relationship with Shanice after the emotional devastation caused by her pregnancy revelation. A luxury escape, private villa, ocean views, complete privacy, designed to give them the space to breathe and find their way back to each other. And for a brief, beautiful moment, it actually looked like it might work. But Leslie had other plans. She found out about the tree, followed them there in secret, and proceeded to dismantle every single moment of peace they managed to find, using old photos, manipulated videos, and perfectly timed deceptions to turn what could have been a healing retreat into an absolute disaster, and she watched every second of it with a smile on her face. Let's go back to where this whole thing began, because context matters here. Ted and Shanice had been through the kind of storm that tests whether a relationship has any foundation left to stand on. The pregnancy revelation had shaken everything. Trust cracked, words were exchanged that could not be unsaid, and the silence between them had grown heavy in a way that threatened to become permanent. Ted could have walked away, instead, he decided to fight it for it. He put together a grand gesture, not just flowers or a nice dinner, but a full luxury getaway, private villa, crystal water, no interruptions, just the two of them, and whatever they could reveal if they were brave enough to try. When he took Shani's hands and told her they needed this, that it would be just the two of them. If you could see her wrestling with herself, she wanted to believe him. She really did. The part of her that still loved him, that still held on to what they had before everything went sideways, was reaching for that lifeline. And so she said yes. Honestly, watching someone choose hope over fear after being hurt that badly, that takes courage. Shanice deserved for this to go well. She deserved that peace, and what happened instead is genuinely infuriating. Because Leslie already knew, she had been standing in the shadows outside Ted's office, listening to every word of their conversation, and by the time they walked away, she had already started calculating. A vacation, she whispered to herself, and then came that slow, dangerous smile, that one tells you everything you need to know about who this woman is and what is capable of. She didn't just want to upset Shanice, she wanted to destroy her. And this trip, this carefully planned gesture of love and reconciliation, was nothing more than a perfect opportunity to do exactly that. What makes Leslie so genuinely chilling in this storyline is the patience behind it. She is not impulsive, she does not act out of raw emotion or make sloppy decisions driven by jealousy. She is strategic in a way that is almost clinical. Within hours of overhearing that conversation, she had access to everything: flight details, hotel reservations, the specific villa Ted had booked. I mean, think about the level of obsession that takes. Think about what it says about how long she has been watching and waiting. And then she followed them, disguised herself with oversized sunglasses and a white brim that stood at a distance in that airport and watched them walk toward their gate, murmuring to herself that they should enjoy the anticipation because it would not last. That line alone tells you how thoroughly she had already mapped out what was coming. The island itself was genuinely stunning, and that contrast makes the whole thing even more painful. The villa overlooking the ocean, golden light at sunset, soft waves, complete seclusion. Ted had delivered exactly what he promised, and standing on the balcony, Shanice let herself feel something she hadn't felt in weeks. Hope, real, genuine, unguarded hope. Ted wrapped his arms around her and she smiled, actually smiled, and for just a moment it seemed like maybe love was going to win this one. But Leslie was already there, already in position, already set up for everything she had planned. The first crack came at dinner. quietly and almost costly. A dish Sanish didn't order appeared in front of her. The waiter couldn't explain who had requested it. Ted frowned. Shanice told herself it was probably just a mistake, and it should happen. In any other story, it would happen, but this isn't any other story, and that little moment of unease was just the opening note of something far more destructive. The next morning is where Leslie truly shows her hand. Shanice wakes up to a photo on her phone, Ted with another woman, intimate and close in a way that turns your stomach to look at, and the devastation of what that moment is immediate and total. Her heart stopped. Can you even imagine that? You wake up in a paradise your partner brought you to specifically to prove he loves you, and the first thing you see is what looks like proof that he has been betraying you. Shani shoves the phone in his face and demands an explanation, and Ted, genuinely blindsided, genuinely confused, says it has to be a setup. But here is the cruel genius of what Leslie did. The photo wasn't recent, it was months old, taken before Ted and Shanice had even started trying to repair things. But timing and context nuance don't matter when you are standing there staring at an image that looks exactly like the thing you have been afraid of all along. Shanice tells him it looks like the truth finally catching up with him, and all Ted can do is deny it, which of course sounds exactly like what a guilty person would say. Leslie was watching all of this through binoculars from a hidden position nearby, watching the argument, watching the anger, watching the heart spread across Shanice's face, and smiling, and saying it was right on schedule. I cannot stress enough how cool that is. This is not a woman acting out of pain. This is someone who has detached from any normal human response to another person's suffering and turned it into entertainment. That is a different level of calculated cruelty entirely. By the third day, the vacation that was supposed to save their relationship had been completely hollowed out. Arguments had replaced laughter. Silence had swallowed the affection that had just barely started to return every time Ted tried to fix it, tried to explain, tried to reach her. It backfired because Shadis was operating from a wound that kept getting reopened before it had any chance to close. He told her someone was doing this to them. She told him that sounded like an excuse, and she turned away. They made Shanice turning away from Ted in a place he brought her specifically to bring them back together. It's genuinely heartbreaking. But Leslie wasn't done. Her final move was the most devastating of all, and she saved it for the evening when the damage from the photo had already settled into Shani's bones. Another message video Shadi's hands trembled as she pressed play, and what she heard was Ted's voice saying that he didn't even know if the baby was his. I could not imagine what that felt like. After everything, after saying yes to this trip, after standing on that balcony and letting herself hope again, the ground disappeared completely. When Ted appeared behind her and she turned to face him, there was nothing left to argue about. Her voice broke as she told him not to speak, and she walked away. The consequences here are enormous and they move in multiple directions at once. For Ted and Shanice, this trip, which was supposed to be the thing that saved them, has potentially done more damage than anything that came before it. Because this isn't just about a photo or a video anymore. It's about Shanice having opened herself up to hope again and having that hope weaponized against her. That specific kind of betrayal, even when the betrayal is technically being committed by someone else entirely, leaves marks that are very hard to come back from. For Leslie, this feels like a victory, and she certainly treats it as one. But here is what she hasn't accounted for. Back in Fairmont Estates, someone has started asking questions, someone who pays attention to patterns and doesn't believe in coincidences. And the very meticulousness that made Leslie's plan so effective, the access to booking details, the orchestration of timing, the precision of it all, is exactly the kind of thing that leaves a trail for the right person to follow. Leslie has always believed she operates without consequence. She may be about to discover how wrong that is. Honestly, Leslie terrifies me more than most villains in this kind of story, and the reason is exactly what I said before. It is the patience that gets me. Rage driven sabotage is one thing, but this level of cold, methodical, sustained cruelty requires something darker. Underneath it, she did not just want Ted and Shanice to fight. She wanted to watch Shanice hope die. That specificity of intent is disturbing, and the worst part is that she is good at it. She read the situation perfectly, she timed every move precisely, and she executed without hesitation. I genuinely hope that whoever is asking questions back in Fairmont Estates is good enough and fast enough to catch up with her before she does any more damage. So there it is. A vacation designed to heal turned into a precision engineered demolition by a woman who has no intention of stopping. Ted is powerless, Shanice is devastated, and Leslie somewhere smiling to herself, completely unaware that the clock on her plan may already be ticking down. I need to hear from you. Do you think Ted and Shanice can come back from this? Or has Leslie finally done enough damage to make it permanent? And who do you think is asking questions back home? Is it someone we already know, and are they going to be enough to stop her? Tell me everything in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you are here and when Leslie's world starts to fall apart. Because based on everything we know, that moment cannot come soon enough.